Welcome to Becoming PowHERhouse, where we discuss the tough lessons I've learned while taking my two companies from negative revenue to over 7 figures. We'll talk about the raw and vulnerable truths about being boss, as well as tips and strategies you can implement immediately for better business results. I'm your host, Nicholle Overkamp, the founder and CEO of Wilcox Financial Group and PowHERhouse Coaching. You can see links and other resources in our notes. Don't forget to head over to PowHERhousemoney.com to grab your free PowHER bundle for business and subscribe to our newsletter. Now, let's dive in to today's episode. Let's talk about 3 things that can truly accelerate, amplify, and lead to success as being a CEO. Okay, my powerhouses. So I am recording to you from my hotel room in Colorado Springs, and I just completed a week of being here for a conference for WPO, the Women's Entrepreneurs Organization, or Women's Presidents Organization, rather. And it was super cool. I would say a little disappointing, and but it gave me that time and space that I was truly looking for to take a step back, be able to work on the business, come up with fresh ideas, rejuvenate a little bit, and then also spend some time with Sarah. So Sarah is our company's COO for Wilcox Financial Group and PowHERhouse Money. And it's been, we used to do these trips often, and it's probably been over a year or two since we got to do that. And so, that is just so valuable. She's one of my favorite people, and being able to just be together, have really good dinners, conversations, and of course, really amazing ideas always flow from that. And so what I thought I would do today is just talk a bit about 3 things that I have found have been so helpful for me in being a successful leader in continuing to grow the company. And these are things that I most definitely didn't start with and were learned by looking backward and saying, hey, you know what? Like, what are some of the things that gave me the best return? The best return on my people, my energy, and of course, profits. And it's not as obvious as you would think. And so the first I want to talk about is stay humble. Stay humble, my friends. Overconfidence can kill your business. And so what I mean by that is, yes, you need confidence and courage to put yourself out there, grow your company, take risks, but overconfidence can be a detriment and cause you to have blind spots. So what you want to think about is, number one, always have this cautious questioning, right? And a few of my favorite questions are, what am I not seeing? What am I not seeing right now? And how can we look at this differently? Another question when launching a new idea or initiative is I ask myself, how could this go wrong? Even if we have all of these beautiful ideas and it seems incredible, I always take a step back and say, okay, why is this a bad idea? What could go wrong? In vetting those things out too. And if the pros still outweigh the cons, we move forward. But sometimes it was a distraction or something that sounded really cool, but after we vetted all the things that could go wrong, it wasn't worth it after taking that and breaking it out with the rest of the team. So that's really important, is sometimes to step outside of yourself as well and get those outside opinions, because if you are like me, I can convince myself anything is a good idea. And I always have a lot of ideas. And so sometimes I need to, number one, put them in a parking lot and just pause for a second, but then also definitely bring in either outside advisors or just the team, because they are smart and they know the business. And so that I have found is so helpful. So definitely be humble and be an active student of the game. So learning is one of our core values. And with that means I know I will never know enough. I know I will never know it all. And so I'm constantly and obsessively learning, gaining new insights, looking at trends. What can I do better? Because there's always opportunity for growth. And I'm extremely self-aware. And so I think, again, lack of self-awareness really equates to a very large weakness, because you may not be delegating in the right areas, or where in terms of how you're actually your own bottleneck, or standing in your own way. So that's number one. Second thing is value your team. Your team is like the heartbeat of your business. Your team equates to the people that allow you to stay in your zone of genius, that allow you to thrive, that allow you to take breaks and take time off. One of the best parts about being away at this conference for a week is that my company was running without me. I've got this brilliant team back at the office taking care of our clients, doing what needs to be done so service isn't interrupted, cash flow isn't interrupted, and that is significant. Long ago, when I started the company, I was like a stress ball when I went away. I was working the whole time. I was barely able to be present because I was so afraid things would unravel with me not being at the business. And that is not good. Now, when you start out, can't avoid it. However, building a team and being self-aware and hiring people smarter than you allows you to do those things. Really important. And so to that end, of course, I'm still checking in. I don't think, for a lot of us in that like midpoint of your business stage, it's realistic to think that you're just going to like evaporate. For me, it's like a touch tree. I enjoy like a check-in at least, an hour a day, and then I feel really good. But to the point of your team being the heartbeat of your business and really allowing you to scale, grow, thrive, and provide a higher, more consistent, that's key, a higher, more consistent level of service, you have to love them hard. Do not fall into the trap of micromanaging. That's not going to allow you to gain the benefit from them that you need, and empower them to take extreme ownership in their positions. Remember, you hired them because they're really smart. And so allow them to run with that. Give them permission to give you feedback. Give them permission to speak up, and knowing that they really can take that ownership in the position and run with new ideas so that your company can grow and thrive. And appreciate them, remind them how amazing they are, do different things. I love doing little handwritten notes, maybe a gift card here or there, just to say like, hey, thank you for being part of the family. I truly love you. Or, depending on your culture, you may use different words, but for us, like my team is like family, and I appreciate them so much and compensate them well. I can't be where I am without my team, and I want them to be able to also enjoy living a good life. It makes me feel very good to be able to pay them more. It's important to me. And then third is remain open-minded. And so this is really big, and I tend to have like really strong beliefs and opinions, which is, of course, probably why I'm also unemployable and own my own business. But being open-minded is huge. Being willing to pivot and be flexible and change depending on what the horizon has in store for you. And we're in this like unprecedented time right now as well, with AI, technology changing, and really morphing what things will look like in the future. And so we need to be open and willing to change, pivot, and tweak. And then also, what worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work right now. And so we need to be open-minded on that. And so, yes, we always want to stay true to our core values and what the mission of our company is, but we need to be flexible enough and open-minded enough to actually look at the data consistently, ongoing, and frequently to make sure that we're always on the right path. So that is huge, and it can protect you and insulate you from ruin as well, in thinking that the way that you've always done things is the way to continue always doing things. Chances are, if you are going to remain successful in this environment, the way that you've always done things shouldn't be the way that you're always going to continue to do things. And you're tweaking, you're manipulating and studying all of the trends, data, and changes. And then knowing the data, like what do your numbers tell you? What has changed or shifted? And how can you dig in and look better on that? So those are my 3 tips, my friends, to level up your success in leading your company to your next level. Until next time, continue to be courageous. Thanks so much for listening to Becoming PowHERhouse. You can find all of the links to our site and resources in the show notes. Let's connect on Instagram at PowHERhouseMoney, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter at PowHERhouseMoney.com. Remember, I want to connect with you. I want to hear your thoughts and help you with all the challenges you're having. So engage, send me a DM. And of course, if you're loving this podcast, let us know and go ahead and hit the subscribe button and leave a review.